All right, buy my house fast for cash. You see the signs everywhere. We'll take property, any condition. You're getting bombarded with calls with people like me who are calling, seeing they can buy your house. You may have a house that has some form of distress, whether it's in your life, particularly. Perhaps you're dealing with tax liens, or you're dealing with a property that needs so much money to go into it to fix it up. Or perhaps you have a bad tenant, you're just sick and tired and you want a quick cash sale. However, you don't know how to verify if all these folks contacting you, calling you, reaching out to you, sending you mail or sending you email, sending you text are really legit. So today at Life in Transitions Experts Podcast, we're going to look at 5 or 6 things that you can do to help you determine whether or not cash buyers like Estate Pro Service, me, Courtney Rollins, and other folks are legit. Again, this is my opinion. And yeah, so we'll keep it as that. All right, that face is hilarious. Oh man, only mama could love it. So, one is research their reputation. A cash buyer is generally going to have some type of online presence, and so many of today's cash buyers do have that, and they will have certain reviews for the services they provide. You can also ask for references for people that they bought properties from before. Title, closing company, are they easy to work with? Do they do what they say they're going to do? Ask, check for their reputation, research their reputation. You got to verify their credentials as well. So this is interesting. So you could ask for proof of funds, but just note that when you ask for proof of funds, really in this day, in this reality, and I know a lot of folks like wholesalers and cash buyers are probably not going to like me saying this, but you can get a proof of funds within 5 minutes almost anywhere pulling this. So it's what you really want to do is sort of similar to the first one, is to verify that they are who they say they are, and that they can do what they say they can do. Now, there are people who come in like me 4 years ago who had no experience but are able to leverage the experience of mentors, of partnerships, and all, and that's very helpful. So I would definitely say don't dismiss a cash buyer because they have limited experience. Sometimes they're the most hungry folks for you and will work as hard as ever to make sure this is a quick, convenient, easy sell for you. So the hungry folks are sometimes the ones you want to connect with, but you just got to make sure that they're at least connected with someone, or they have an idea of what they're doing, and they have exude competence and confidence without trying to overtalk. And that's another point I make. Wholesalers. Some people feel like wholesalers have a bad name, similar to sometimes a name associated with a real estate agent. A wholesaler is just that. It's the person who finds a property at a discount, gets it under terms of a discount, and then they assign the rights to that property, they assign that contract to another end buyer. The seller still gets paid. The end buyer gets a great property that at a discount that they can fix up and go take care of their investment needs. And the wholesaler is able to make hopefully a good amount in between because of the service that they provided. Very similar to Nike wholesale stores. Oh, that's good. The Jesus out of me. I'm supposed to be stretching right now. It's early in the morning. I don't know if anybody's out here. Am I live? I'm not even live. Oh my goodness. That's all right. This is a blessing. I thought I was live. Well, I'm glad I didn't wake you all up at 5:55. I might still do a live version. I don't know. Anyways, where's I going with that? But wholesalers, because it isn't regulated, because there isn't a license in there, they don't have a fiduciary responsibility to you as a seller or even to the buyer. I mean, you do have to watch and make sure that you're working with folks who have integrity. And fortunately for me, I've come across a lot of wholesalers, a lot of real estate agents, a lot of folks, and people by and large are good people. And I found that, if I find somebody who's burnt me or did something that's unscrupulous or whatever, I just, hey, that's who they are, and thanks for sharing with me, and I will not be working with you in the future. So definitely verify, definitely check, and I'm glad that there are a lot of awesome people out here who are trying to help, because that's the only way that we can get a discounted price. That's the only way we can, because you have to have an issue that we can solve very quickly and easily. Also, make sure when you check that contract, it doesn't have a ton of loopholes. There should be an inspection period, even though for properties that are paid for cash, they're usually taken as is. The person still needs to know what they're buying. They're not buying just a particular 25-cent gum, So make sure the inspection period has a actual limited time on there. Make sure there's consequences if after the inspection period, that buyer decides not to buy the property. How much earnest money did they put down? A lot of wholesalers like me put down very little amount of of earnest money deposit, because to make the property, the contract legitimate, you have to have some type of interest in it, and usually that's money compensation, $1, $10, $100,000, whatever it is. Because wholesalers is such a numbers game, and we're the ones who are in the trenches digging, finding deals. It'd be challenging if we put out $1,000 for every single EMD, but you still can do it. So it really has to do with how comfortable you feel with the wholesaler, or if you work with a wholesaler. But if it's a direct cash buyer, they need to put down some money. I would even say $5,000, so that you know that they're legit. A wholesaler, again, is a little different, but you have to feel comfortable. There have been times I put down $3,000, $5,000 when I was in the role of wholesaler and not going to be the direct buyer, but I had another investor to buy, because the seller felt more comfortable doing that. No problem at all. But make sure there aren't a ton of loopholes. What is the contingent? Are there contingencies? When is it set to close? Does it have a legit closing date? Does the contract have an expiration date on it for us? How long before it can be signed? I would highly recommend. I recommend that you connect with a real estate attorney, or this is where an agent will really help. Seek professional help. Agents are awesome. We live in a world. They say we're moving from the information age to the one mind age. I don't know what they call it, Mendocino or something. So in other words, there's groups, communities everywhere right at our fingertips from the smartphones and computers. So, but also there's the real estate agents have been out there doing great work for many years. So seeking their help, and not just real estate agents, but real estate attorneys, so they can review the documents and make sure they're legit, or that they're stating what you want them to state. And beware of any red flags. Are they pressuring you to sell? No one should try to convince you to sell to them, in my humble opinion. Now, you may ask, well, why should I sell to you? And I'm like, well, I might say back, well, why do you want to sell, Adam? I'm not trying to convince you. What are your helps? What are your wants? What are your needs? I try to match people's needs. I don't try to throw all the benefits that come with working with me, because some of them may not mean a darn thing to you. And why would I try to tailor something that doesn't fit what you want and need? So I don't know how I got on there talking about where. Oh yeah, people pressuring you. Oh, high pressure sales. Oh goodness, be aware of that. The contracts, be aware of that. If they're inconsistent, with say they're going to call this time and it's not that time, or they're going to pick up whatever the red flags you have. Be aware of that. And that goes to the last one. Oh, where did the last one go? Trust your gut. Yay! Trust your gut. Go with your gut feelings. We have those there for a reason. We got so many nerves, more, I think, nerve endings in our stomach than we do in our brains. I'm just quoting stuff now, but it is to say you can trust yourself, trust your gut. Yeah. And I was going to say right here, put my pretty face up here and all. We take a hard head-on approach to helping people through probate process, and that's one of the main ways that I actually find properties that I can get at a discount. If I'm offering speed and convenience or clarity on the probate process, quite often there's property related to the estate, and I can help provide solutions. That expands also to other distressed properties as well. So, so feel free to check me out, check us out. And other than that, I'm going to let you go. It is 6 a.m. Woo! I got to order some tripods. Talk to you later. Let your light shine. Woo! Almost forgot my tag.